Hey everyone, it's Mike D'Angelo from BodyEvolver, and I'm psyched that you made it to this page. That is awesome. So listen, this is software for personal trainers, right? You know that eventually you're going to have to move your business online, right? All your numbers, all your client information. You can have one streamlined, easy to use place to put all your client data, right? To make your life easy, save you time, no paperwork, no clutter, none of that junk, none of that old school stuff, right? Use your iPad, your tablet, your laptop. This is not online scheduling, it's not online billing. It's not that. This is about the standard operating procedures that you're kind of taught when you get your certification, but yet most people don't really do it because it's kind of a pain in the butt, right? And we make it so ridiculously easy and simplify the capacity to track client progress. And I gotta tell you, man, when you track client progress and you show them what has happened to them since they started training with you, it's like magic. It makes it easy for you to hold them accountable. And when they see the change, it's like they're yours. You know what I mean? And they stay in your program for longer. They refer you business, and you build a career that you love. Bam, helping people out all day long, right? I've been there. 24 years, full-time trainer. The last 10 years, been building this software with my business partner, who's a database engineer, really brilliant dude, great guy. Last 3 years, marketing it and trying to get it out there to help you guys build your business. So, I'm going to give you a quick tour, all right? So, let me hit the... Okay, so this is the login screen, right? So you hit login, and there you go, boom. So this is you logging in as an individual trainer to build your clientele, right? Build your database of clients, okay? So you know that the money's in the data, right? Just ask Facebook, Google, and Amazon. The more data that you have on individuals and people, the more you can help them, the more you can educate them, the more you can help them see change and understand where they're at. And when clients understand where they're at, they make smarter choices when they're not with you. You know what I mean? And that makes a huge difference in the results they get. You know what I mean? And when you're collecting their data and they can see their data and you can see their data, it's a good thing. Otherwise, you're kind of walking around with the blinders on and the shades closed. You know what I mean? So let that, let the data set you free and let the data set them free. Seriously. Okay, so, sorry, went off on a tangent. My apologies. Okay, so here, when you log in, you're going to have your email and your password, and you hit go. You're going to land on this page, which is a select client page. So every single person that you come in contact with, collect their data. Even if they're not going to buy training from you, just get their data. Because when you get their data, you can follow up with them, right? Okay, so here's a list of clients that I've got, right? And they're all alphabetized for you. And then from here, you say, let's just say we're going to enter a new client, right? Okay, so we got to create a client, put all their client data in, right? The whole thing, their email address, phone number, birth date, activities of daily living, because that plays a role in their metabolic rate later, right? Put in their address so you can send them holiday cards, pictures. You want to write down their dreams, right? If you know what their dreams are and what their goals are and what they're looking to do and why they're looking to do it, you're going to be able to hold them accountable. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier, and it makes it really easy to kind of poke their buttons because you know what motivates them, right? So you write that stuff down. You write down some self-reported limitations. If you're doing functional movement stuff, you can do all that, right? Just write that stuff in. And I'm going to skip. So once you fill all that in, then you're going to come to, okay, so I just made up a fake client. And once you enter in all their stuff and you hit, create the client at the bottom, you come to these health intake forms, right? So this is all that standard stuff. Informed consent, PAR-Q, medical history, family history, fitness interests, nutrition history, lifestyle summary. Now you can choose to go through all of this stuff with your client, or you can choose to skip it. I professionally recommend that you go through it either with them or at least let them go through it and you guys talk about it, right? But you can do it however you want to do it. It's not, that's completely up to you. But It's all there for you, so you don't have to deal with any paper or any junk or nothing like that, right? So from here, now it's a matter of how are you collecting body comp data, right? So if you're doing calipers, you click the caliper button. If you're using some other method other than calipers, then you hit the no caliper method. And I'm just going to go and give you a demo with the no caliper just because it's quick and easy, and it's actually new. We just added this part, which is kind of fun. Okay, so here I created this client. Her name is Jessica Test. Let's say she weighs 100 and, I don't know, 45 pounds, something like that. And now you have to take their waist, their hips. That way you can get the hip to waist ratio, right? These are required. And the umbilic. Let's put in the waist. So let's say the waist is, 78 cent. Now all the measurements are going to be taken in centimeters. So 78 centimeters, and the hips are going to be, let's say 103 or something. And I'm totally making this up, so I have no idea what this is going to come out to. So let's say her waist is higher and more narrow. Her umbilicus, let's say, is, 82, right? And if that were the case, okay. If that were the case, this woman, Jessica Test, would be 31.3% fat. But if you want to use that because you're doing online coaching or something, bam, have your client take their measurement in centimeters, report it back to you, plug it in. You could even do like a Zoom video thing if you're doing online, coaching and whatnot, which is, quite frankly, like going to be the future. So you hit save. Well, you can hit save. If you want to track an optional body fat method, such as we could do air displacement, bioelectrical impedance, DEXA. We've got some anti-aging doctors that are tracking their DEXA stuff, hydrostatic weighing, if you're at college or whatnot. Skindex, if you use that Skindex machine, that the caliper, you just poke the three things and the thing does calculations for you. You can pop that number in here. And if you do ultrasound, you can plug the ultrasound number in. So let's say you did bioelectrical impedance because you got one of those new fancy dancy in-bodies or something, right? You hit the bioelectrical impedance, and let's say the bioelectrical impedance said that this woman was actually 29%, right? Boom. Hit save. And boom, there's her data, right? So now you can have meaningful conversations with her about where she's at. You can click this body check report, and you can show her, hey, Jessica, you're kind of in the high part of green here. Yellow is kind of an increased health risk. Red's like really bad. If Jessica had been a bit more overweight and her numbers were like up here, it's real great for people to just kind of see the graphs and stuff. And when they see the graphs, they kind of get it like, oh, wow, geez, that's kind of where I'm at. I probably got to really consider doing something about that, and it does have impact on the decisions that people make when they get to see this stuff, right? So you can see, you're kind of on the high end, and she maybe she came to you because she wants to lose 10 pounds, whatever, who knows, right? But the bottom line is you got her data, and you can use that data to inform and educate her and help her kind of better understand reality, right? You got body mass index, you get hip to waist ratio, a thermometer over here. This is the resting metabolic rate. You've got lean mass, fat mass, right? All right there, how many pounds? You can print this thing if you want and hand it to her. She'll be totally psyched, right? You can add notes. So these are like notes. Oh, you're going to put Jessica on this kind of program or that kind of program. High level stuff, like what's going to happen with Jessica for the next 3 months or 6 months or something, right? Now, the idea is you're going to be training Jessica for like 10 years, right? So as you start collecting data underneath, you're going to be able to look back, okay, in 2005, you did this with Jessica and blah, 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 right? You can add in photos, right? You just choose file. If you have an iPad, so this obviously, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it works with an iPad, a tablet, a laptop, like whatever, right? So if you got an iPad, right, so here's the iPad. So when you're doing the photos, you've got your thing, blah, blah, blah. You want to hold it in landscape mode and then just go kabamo and get their photo. Boom, upload it, before, after. Clients love that stuff. All right, so boom, you get the photo thing. And from here, okay, so here you can print this. You can send the client an email. Say I want to send Jessica an email. You click the email button. It's like, hey, Jess, great to meet you. yada, yada, yada. Whatever your deal is, however you communicate with your clients, boom, put it in. I'll be like, dude, we're going to crush it. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait to make it happen. Boom, done. And then sign it and hit send. And now, very easy for you to communicate with your clients. Sit down, wake up first thing in the morning, get coffee, and bam, send out a whole bunch of emails, right? So from here, say you want to do another body comp, right? You click the check mark, you do another body comp, like two weeks from now, 6 weeks from now, 3 months from now, however or whenever you want to do it. You want to edit a record because you screwed it up, you click edit mode, select the record, and you edit it. No big deal. Couldn't be easier. And then we got a goal page. Now this goal page, I'm not going to get into it too deeply, but I'm just going to tell you that this thing right here sells training. And the reason why is it allows you to help the client see exactly what they got to do to get to where they want to be. And you really kind of help them kind of understand things and start to look at things differently. And so what you do is you take these little sliders and you slide them up and down. You want her to lose a certain amount of weight. And if she loses this many pounds, she's going to get to that percent. And then you can monkey around with her carbohydrate intake to create some kind of a deficit, right? And then you add in her activity, however much activity she's going to get in with strength training and cardio or whatever. And you can tell her, hey, you're gonna lose, 1.5 pounds per week. It's going to take you 10 weeks to lose this 16 pounds. And you ought to make that happen in 67 days if we stick with the numbers, right? If we stick with the numbers, science dictates this is what's going to happen. And it's so easy to make the client stick to the numbers. So then the expected goal date, boom, just a few weeks from now. We can totally make this happen. And when clients can see the light at the end of the tunnel like that, with the steps involved, knowing that they're going to get your support is massive. And they immediately start to take action. And there's all kinds of tricks to making them take action. And all that stuff's in the videos in the library to show you how to use all this stuff. But I'm just trying to bang this stuff out real quick, right? So going to save that goal. Boom, you got that saved. You're done. Okay, so from here, now you just track progress over time. So however you're going to do it, however often you want to run body comps, however motivated your clients are and, when they want to get it done and reach their goals and whatnot, you just track progress over time. So I'm going to show you an example of this girl. Okay, so this is a girl, Alex, right? So I used to do skin folds. I was huge on doing skin folds. And just so that you know, when you do the skin folds, I know I'm going off on a tangent here, all you got to do is put in the circumferences and put in the skin fold numbers. And we've got the, the boxes here to show you exactly how all the stuff, how you take all the measurements. You just plug the number in and the system will calculate all the math for you. So you don't have to sit there with a calculator like this trying to figure out the percent body fat. It'll run the percent fat, the lean mass, the fat mass, the metabolic rate, all of that stuff, right? Okay, so let's go back to Alex. So here's Alex, right? You can see I've got multiple points of data on her dating back since 2006, right? And last time I saw her was actually 2014 because I'm really not doing the training thing anymore. But you can see here's all her data, right? And if you hit this, all that data starts to graph and chart, right? So I'm just going to tell you what this girl's story was, and then you can see the value in as you're training your clients and you're tracking progress and you're, having their numbers makes a huge difference in their capacity to get them to take action. So this girl actually came to me and she didn't buy training when I first met her, because when I first met her, she was actually doing like a story on the gym that, I owned in Boston. So she didn't buy training. Now, a year later, I bumped into her at like some cocktail party. And sure enough, she got fatter. And she was like, oh my God, like, I got fatter. And I'm like, well, just come in. Let's just run your numbers and see where she's at, where you're at, right? So I ran her numbers and sure enough, she got fatter. And guess who signed up for training, right? Now, I would have never got her as a client, had I not had her data originally from the first time I met her. Then we got her, we got her on a program. We took off all this fat. We gained all this, muscle. And then I kind of stopped training her in 2009. And then I bumped into her, 4 years later or whatever in Boston. And sure enough, she got fat again. And I'm like, well, come in. Let's just run your numbers. So I ran her numbers and boom. Now, had I been able to be, training, I'd have her as a client still. You know what I mean? So there's the value in having the data. And every point of data that you collect will track and graph over time. And of course, you can print those things up, gain clients access so that they can log in and check out their stats themselves, keep themselves motivated, and they love it. Okay, and they actually start asking you, like, hey, when are we running body comps? You know, from here, you put them on your program, whatever kind of program that is. You hold them accountable to the numbers. If you want to send them a login because you want them to view their own file, or you want them to fill out the medical history stuff, all you got to do is come here and hit Edit Client, turn them from a client to a client advanced, run to the bottom, hit Save. It pops up an email. You say, hey, here's your thing to log into BodyEvolver so you can see your account, you know, to check out your progress and how much fat you've lost or how many inches you've lost or whatever. Or, hey, get in there and fill out the medical history stuff for me so that we can look at it next time I see you, blah, 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 you know, whatever, right? Keeping them safe, right? So whatever you want to do, hit send. The system will send the email directly to them, and you're totally good to go, right? And then from here, there's some reports, right? So we got the 30, 60, 90-day report. Just kind of lets you know how many days it's been since you ran some numbers. If you run down, everything's done in chronological order. So it couldn't be easier from a standpoint of like keeping everything organized and whatnot, right? So, for instance, it's been 40 days since I did Bill Adams. It's been 75 days since I did, you know, Ann, whatever. And you can send them an email right out of the system. You just poke the email button. Hey, Ann, what's up? You know, you've been doing great at the gym, and I think we got to check your progress. It's been 75 days, or it's been 90 days, or it's been whatever your deal is. Boom. Let's bang it out. You know, hold them accountable. When they know they got to get their body comp done, you know what they do? They kind of behave themselves. And when they behave themselves, they lose weight, and, you know, everything's great. All right, so we got that. Then we got a birthday report, right? So in here, you got the birthday. So today, you know, had I been trying to build my training business, I'd be banging these numbers right here, right? So we got Mike, Phil, and Steve all have birthdays today. You can just send them an email, log in with your coffee, you know, first thing in the morning, shoot them an email. Hey, happy birthday. Hope things are great, blah, blah, blah. Clients love that stuff. So from here, there's how to contact us, how to manage your account, you know, all that stuff. And then there's a library, right? So in the library, there's how to do body comp videos. There's user guides, trainer guides, measurement guides, a mobile kit, all the printable intake wizard stuff. There's a webinar on, you know, client profitability. You should check that out. There's group training profits, which was a seminar that I had given. It's like a 14-page packet or something, just jam-packed on how to put group training into your training practice. Just all kinds of stuff. Frequently asked questions. But when you get in here, you know, if you're going to check this out, there's a fast start video series. In this is 19 videos that show you how each aspect of the system works. So you got access to this whenever you want to poke in here and check it out and learn how it works, right? And of course, we're here for you. So just, you know, reach out, and we do webinars. We got a private Facebook group that you'll be a part of. And you got questions, issues, reach out. I'll be reaching out to you when you sign up, because you know what? I'd love nothing more than to help you blow up your training business. And I know that you can do it when everything's organized and you're just doing the standard practice stuff that the industry says works. And that's all we've done is simplified all of that, you know, so that you can kind of live the lifestyle that you want and, you know, change the world. So, all right, so I'm going to go back to the library, back to my clients, and that's everything. So somewhere on this page, there's going to be a link. And if you want to sign up, man, I'd be honored. And I really know that this is going to help you build your business. With technology, man, I think the sooner you act, the better. And it's going to be great for your clients. Your clients are going to love it. You're going to build your business, and life's going to be good. All right. I can't wait to meet you personally, and we'll talk with you soon. All right, man. Thanks.